I mean, imagine if you got up in the morning and the headlines read that there's a comet hurtling towards Earth that is certain to destroy civilization and life as we know it. And imagine if that wasn't just some idle speculation of a crazy person, but actually an analysis based on the cutting-edge technology of the day. Report on Halley's Comet increased. The comet was predicted to become visible to the naked eye on April 10th, reach perihelion on the 20th, and remain visible for a month as it rocketed past the planet. Its 25 million kilometer tail shining spectacularly behind it. As it turned out, it was less the comet and more the tail that would become a problem. Halley's Comet was the first comet from which scientists were able to gather spectroscopic data. And by February 8th, they were reporting that they had determined that Halley's Comet's tail included cyanogen, a type of cyanide gas that's extremely deadly. Camille Flammarion, a French astronomer and early science fiction writer, took the news gravely. He concluded that the cyanogen could impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. The New York Times added in its article, most astronomers did not agree with Flammarion, reporting that the cyanogen was extremely diffuse in the tail, and that even if it did reach the atmosphere, it would either decompose by combustion or be repelled by the planet. But perhaps predictably, it was Flammarion's view that received the most attention, at least in part because the planet was scheduled to orbit through the comet's tail on May 19th. The possibility of apocalypse inspired all kinds of strange behavior. Canny hucksters sold anti-comet pills that promised to protect people from the dangerous gas. A fire insurance company advertised that while scientists didn't think the comet would start fires, you might as well buy some fire insurance, just in case. A suit maker advertised nice suits, saying if you're going to die, don't you want to leave a good-looking corpse? Comet cocktails were sold in New York. Gas masks flew off of shelves. It was reported that you could not find a tank of oxygen that you could purchase in Rome. The comet was accused of affecting the weather, of making people in Indiana sleepier than usual. The blame became so common that the comet was blamed for everything from storms at sea to bad dreams to a melancholy cat. The Pope, however, was reportedly unimpressed. Several important events did happen while the comet was visible in the sky. On April 21st, just one day after Halley's perihelion, famed American author Samuel Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, died. Twain had been born only a few weeks after Halley's Comet had appeared in 1835. The year before he died, Twain famously said that I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It's coming against next year, and I expect to go out with it. On May 6th, King Edward VII of England died, and his funeral procession was held on May 20th. His funeral was attended by at least 9 kings and many more royal representatives, the last time so much royalty would gather before World War I. As collision with the tail approached, news around the world began to take on a manic tone. The Tacoma Times reported that Korean officials feared that the comet was an ill omen. Korea's former vice minister thought it was a sign foretelling the downfall of the present imperial dynasty. Perhaps it was. A few months later, Japan annexed Korea. A missionary in China reported that locals feared the comet indicates calamity. Reports of suicides and madness caused by the comet were commonplace. Hoaxes, too, such as the widely reported story of a cult that attempted to sacrifice a virgin in Oklahoma. An article suggested that people could survive the comet by renting a submarine. A French scientist thought the comet could cause an extraordinary deluge of rain. A professor in California was concerned that cyanogen would combine with hydrogen to create hydrocyanic acid. Reporters abounded that if the comet hit the planet Earth, it would blow up like a firecracker, or that the comet would pull up the oceans by their roots. Despite the misinformation and fear, for the most part, people were simply interested in viewing something historic. Scientists assured readers that probably they should be totally unaware of passing through the tail. Comet parties became all the rage from Hawaii to Paris. As the fateful day approached, some reached hysterics. People taped up doors to keep the possible gas out, and it was reported that churches were filled with fearful congregations. Less dramatically, some thought the tail might slightly change the color of the sky for a time, or interfere with compasses or telegraph messages. The tail was scheduled to hit the planet during the night of May 19th. Many millions stayed up across the world to see what would happen, to be present at what could be the end of days.
Bill Haley and his Comets.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock.